Hello class, in this lecture video, I will be discussing or focusing on selection methods, particularly methods of selection based on available records. So selection method is actually a critical component in our genetic improvement program. So genetic improvement is the goal of animal breeding. So for selection based on available records, very important that the selection that we practice or that we do is only as good as the quality of records that are available. That means when we select animals, when we select breeders, this should be backed by records. Because the more accurate and comprehensive your records are, the more reliable your selection decisions will be. Because you base your selection decision on the performance records of the animal, the pedigree records of the animal, the progeny records of the animal, etc. So speaking of those types, those actually are the kinds of records that we are talking about here: performance records, pedigree records, and progeny records. Pag sinabi nating performance records, yun yung mga records from the animal itself. Example, growth rate, average daily gain, milk yield, egg production. Nare-record natin yung mga yun na traits sa hayop. Yun yung performance records. Next, pedigree records. Yun naman yung mga records na nagagather natin, na measure natin from the parents, grandparents, great-grandparents. Bakit importante ano yung performance ng pedigree records? Because of the principle that we get half of our genetic makeup from our parents and 25% from our grandparents, etc. So that means meron siyang genetic or merong ancestry na tinatawag. We still inherit from our grandparents, great-grandparents. They still contribute to our genetic merit. Ano naman yung progeny record? From the term progeny, record ng offspring or performance records of the offspring of the animal. Kailan natin ginagamit yung progeny record? Kapag pumipili tayo ng male breeder. Pumipili tayo ng male breeder, and if we want to improve, halimbawa, milk production in cattle, halimbawa. If you want to select our bulls to improve milk production, of course, yung bulls natin walang record for milk production. So it's better that we get the records of its daughters, yung kanyang progeny, female progenies, na dapat meron ng record for milk production. The records of its progeny now is our basis to select which of the bulls or of the sires, potential sires that we have in our farm, to be selected. Okay? So, let's discuss yung individual selection, family selection, and progeny selection. Actually, yung minention ko kanina na performance records, pedigree records, at saka progeny records, yun yung ginagamit natin for each of these. So, performance records, ginagamit natin if we employ individual selection. Pedigree records, ang ginagamit natin if we practice family selection. And progeny records, ginagamit natin when we evaluate animals based on the records of its progeny. So, progeny testing or progeny selection ang tawag natin doon. So, let's discuss them in detail. Individual selection is also known as mass selection or performance testing. So, performance testing, kasi ginagamit natin yung kanilang own performance record. Individual selection because the record comes from the individual animal itself. Okay? Next. So that means we are not considering yung performance ng parents, ng siblings, or offspring. Just the own record of the animal. So for example, if we are selecting for winning weight sa goats, i-weigh lang natin yung kid and then choose the heaviest ones. Heaviest kasi winning weight ang pinag-uusapan natin. So the heavier winning weight will be selected for breeding. Yun yung performance testing. You do not need a record from the parents, grandparents, offspring in order to select. Okay, so it's straightforward. And ito yung usual na ginagamit, especially by smallholder farmers and especially sa mga initial stages ng breeding programs. Now, the question is, when is mass selection or individual selection effective or most effective? Kasi hindi naman sa lahat ng pagkakataon effective yung individual selection or mass selection. So, mass selection works best for traits with high heritability. Pag sinabi nating heritability, this refers to how much of the observed variation or differences in a trait is due to genetics rather than the environment. So kapag mataas yung heritability ng trait, that means kapag pinili mo yung hayop based on its phenotype, mas maganda, mas effective yon. When you select the animal based on the phenotype, that means your individual selection is more effective. Bakit? Kasi what you see, what you record doon sa hayop na yon is largely due to their genes. Largely due to their genes, that means high heritability. Not just the environment or not just management practices. Ang example ng mga traits na may high heritability ay yung mga product quality traits, or yung mga, but unfortunately, product quality traits, even if they have high heritability values, ay hindi pwede yung individual selection. Kasi syempre, yung product quality traits, example, carcass traits, back fat thickness, saka mo lang naman makukuha yung record kapag kinatay mo na yung hayop. So, wala na siyang individual or hindi mo na mapipili yung record, yung hayop na yon. Even if you have a record for that animal, hindi mo na siya mapipili as breeder because kinatay mo na yung hayop. So kahit highly heritable yung back fat thickness, individual selection is not effective if you want to improve product quality traits. Ang pwede ay yung mga moderate heritability traits. So hindi lang limited to highly heritable traits, pwede rin yung moderate, yung mga traits na may moderate heritability. Example, yung mga growth rate, body weight, average daily gain, ganyan. Even if hindi masyadong mataas yung kanilang heritability, nasa upper limit na sila ng range for moderate level of heritability. So, pwede yung body weight, winning weight, ganyan. Next, kailan more effective yung individual selection? If the trait or the performance ay na-measure natin or nare-record natin in both sexes. Ibig sabihin, you can record the trait sa male and you can record the trait sa female. That means hindi pwede ang individual selection if the trait you want to improve is sex-limited. Nakuha. Less effective kasi especially if you are choosing sires for improving milk production. Next, individual selection works best also for traits that manifest early in life. That means kapag na-measure natin yung trait early, we can make selection decisions sooner. And at the same time, we can shorten the generation interval. We want a shorter generation interval because that produces yung rapid rate of genetic improvement kapag mas maiksi lang yung generation interval. Ano ba yung possible example dito? Yun yung mga body weight. Halimbawa, yung sa broilers, when we select birds or broilers for body weight at 30 days, we can allow early culling or selection. Therefore, you accelerate genetic improvement. Next. Pag family selection naman, unlike mass selection, family selection is used when we estimate yung breeding value ng hayop based sa average performance of its family members. So yung family members niya can either be parent, sibling, offspring, etc. as compared to the population mean. Okay? So instead of asking, how did this animal perform, you are asking now yourself, how does this animal's family perform on average compared to the rest of the population? Itong how did this animal perform, ito yung tanong na sinasagot ng individual selection or performance testing. So itong tanong for family selection is a more indirect approach to selection, and it becomes very important sa mga certain situations. Especially kapag um, may mga animals na walang records on its own pa. So, kailan siya most useful? Of course, we have number 1, kapag yung trait, hindi siya measured directly on the animal. Bakit? Kasi may mga traits na hindi measured directly sa hayop. Example, yung milk production. Milk production cannot be recorded in males because obviously males do not produce milk. Next, the trait is also, or itong family selection is also useful when the trait has low heritability. Ibig sabihin, the phenotype of the individual or of the animal doesn't tell much about its genes. Ibig sabihin, kapag low heritability, mas influenced by the environment yung expression ng trait na yon. But, even if mababa yung heritability ng trait na yon, if we get the average performance ng relatives niya, we get a reliable estimate of its genetic merit. Example, mga fertility traits, longevity traits, disease resistance, yun yung mga traits na may mababang heritability value. Mahirap silang i-improve. Kapag lowly heritable yung trait na yon, ibig sabihin, mas mahirap siyang i-improve using selection alone, using individual selection alone. But it is better to improve if you consider also the performance of its parents, of its siblings, or offspring. Family selection is also useful when the trait is sex-limited or destructive to measure. Ang ibig sabihin ng sex-limited trait, na-express lang yung trait na yon sa iisang sex. Example, egg production. Females lang yung nagpo-produce ng egg. Or hens lang yung nagpo-produce ng egg. Another, milk production. Females lang din ang nagpo-produce ng milk. Yun yung mga example ng sex-limited traits. Traits that are only expressed in one sex. You can't measure yung mga traits na yun sa other sex or sa males, for example. Pag naman destructive traits or yung mga traits destructive to measure, yun yung mga you have to sacrifice the animal para makuha yung record na yun. And nabanggit ko na yung example ng trait na yun kanina, which is carcass quality. In order for you to record or to get a record for carcass quality, you have to slaughter the animal. So it's destructive to measure. Ngayon, yung carcass quality, pwede na i-apply, para ma-improve mo yung carcass quality, you can apply SIB selection or SIB testing or progeny testing, pwede rin. Bakit? Kasi kapag progeny testing, you get the record from the progeny, therefore you have a basis kung okay yung performance ng animals that you want to select from. Now, speaking of family selection, since may iba't ibang klase ng family or relatives, we have parents, grandparents, we have offspring, we have sibling, meron silang tatlong klase. 3 major types of family-based selection methods. As you can see here, we have pedigree selection or testing, we have progeny testing, and SIB selection or testing. So again, these 3 methods estimate an animal's genetic potential not by looking at its own performance, but by evaluating the performance of its relatives, and relatives. However, syempre meron pa rin siyang limitations. Bakit? Even if family selection provides yung valuable genetic information, especially yung mga traits na cannot be measured directly doon sa hayop na pinagpipilian natin, it is important to understand na meron siyang drawback or yung tinatawag natin limitations. Number 1, lower selection intensity equals lower selection differential equals smaller genetic gain. Sa family selection kasi, we cannot or we often evaluate groups of animals. So, ka-family nga eh, not as individuals. We are looking at the average performance of the family, not the individual. So, as a result, we cannot afford to be very selective. We might keep an entire family line because the group performed well. Ibig sabihin, maganda yung performance ng buong pamilya na yon. Even if may mga individuals na mga sakto-sakto lang, average-average lang. Pero dahil may certain individuals in the family na sobrang maganda yung performance, naging maganda yung average performance ng buong family na yon. Yun yung ibig sabihin ng lower selection intensity. Aya. And then, ano ibig sabihin ba ng selection intensity? Pag sinabi nating selection intensity, gaano ka ka-stricto or ka-selective sa mga hayop mo? Gaano ka ka-stricto sa pagpili ng breeder animals? Yun yung selection intensity. The higher the selection intensity, the higher is the selection differential, and the better is the genetic gain. But unfortunately, when you use family selection, you evaluate yung group of animals. Therefore, mas marami kang kinoconsider na parents. Pag marami kang kinoconsider na parents, mas mababa yung selection intensity because you are less strict. Next, ano naman yung tinatawag natin na selection differential? Pag sinabi mong selection differential, yun yung difference between the performance of the selected parents and the whole population. So selection differential equals performance of the selected parents minus the average performance of the entire population. That will give you now a trade-off, which is you gain accuracy from family info. Why did you gain accuracy? You gain accuracy from the records of many family members, but you lose intensity, selection intensity, because you are selecting broader groups. Ito yung tatandaan natin. The more records that we have, higher selection accuracy. Yun ibig sabihin ng you gain accuracy. Yung sinasabi kong the more records, ito, from family information. Pero, pag mas marami tayong pinipili, kumbaga sa exam, kapag mas marami tayong ipinapasa, mas less strict tayo, di ba? Less strict or mas lenient. Yun ang parang ganun yung analogy dito. Loose intensity, lower selection intensity, you are selecting more breeder animals. Yun ang ibig sabihin. So, ang bottom line, this can lead to slower genetic progress compared kapag ginamit natin yung performance testing or yung individual selection. Second limitation is it requires more time and resources, lalong-lalo na sa progeny testing. Bakit? Kasi syempre, sa progeny testing, ang kailangan mo na records ay records ng anak. So you have to wait first na mag-mature, mag-sexually mature yung hayop, tapos mag-breed, tapos manganak, tapos you have to expect na yung offspring niya ay mabuhay, mag-survive, and viable. So that means more time, more generations to wait, more months to wait, and syempre, resources. It's more expensive. Mas expensive siya, particularly sa mga hayop na mahahaba yung generation intervals. Such as yung cattle natin, carabao, yun yung mga animals with higher or longer generation intervals. And then third limitation is yung G by E interaction natin or yung genotype by environment interaction can reduce accuracy, especially if relatives are raised in different environments. Ang ibig sabihin nun, yung genetic performance ng hayop na yon changes. Depende sa environment na meron siya. Ang tinutukay na environment dito ay yung management natin. The relative, kasi which is true naman. Hindi naman lahat ng mga relatives ay pare-pareho ng management practices na nare-receive. So the relatives are raised in different environments, therefore, they produce different performance. So ano ibig sabihin nun? The G by E introduces error, which now means that the reliability of the estimate from the family performance is lower. So it introduces error na doon sa may estimate na EBV. So yun yung limitations. So even if meron siyang limitations, meron din pa rin naman siyang advantages. Kasi hindi naman natin magagamit ang individual selection method sa lahat ng mga traits na gusto nating i-improve. Next, pedigree selection or pedigree testing. Ito yung method of selecting animals based on the performance of its ancestors. Ancestors, typically yung mga parents, grandparents, or other known relatives, no? In other words, ang tinitingnan natin dito ay yung family background, kumbaga. You're not looking at what the animal has done, but what its family background suggests it might be capable of. So, halimbawa, itong hayop na to comes from a good line or good breed or good ancestry. Therefore, pwede mong sabihin na it likely carries good genes. Yun yung pedigree selection or pedigree testing. So, kailan siya ginagamit? Ginagamit siya during early stages of breeding or early stages of selection. Especially kapag yung animal ay too young, wala pa siyang performance record, so pero kailangan mo na siyang piliin, so kumuha ka ng records from its parents, grandparents, or relatives. Second is kapag yung trait na gusto mong i-improve ay hindi pa na-express or it takes time to measure. So especially when the animal has no performance data yet. Ito, ginagamit natin. Ang example dito rather is kapag matagal yung generation interval ng hayop na hindi mo na mahintay yung record, you use pedigree selection. And then, ginagamit din natin itong pedigree selection or testing kapag low to moderate heritability yung meron yung trait. So examples, of course, we have when we want to choose a bull calf, halimbawa na, ibig sabihin ng bull calf, pumipili na tayo sa mga young cattle natin na male ng potential na bull or potential breeder. Tapos, when you use pedigree selection or pedigree testing, ang titingnan mo yung line, proven cow line niya or proven dam line niya. You use the records of its nanay. Other examples na pwedeng i-improve with pedigree selection or testing is yung fertility, what else, longevity, mga mothering ability, ganyan, yung mga mababa yung heritability values. Next. Progeny selection or progeny testing. Ito naman is it's a selection method where we evaluate the genotype of an animal or of a parent, usually yung lalaki, yung sire, based on the average performance of its offspring. So ang key question naman dito is, what does this animal pass on to the next generation? What does this sire pass on to its offspring? Yun yung tinatanong dito sa progeny selection. So by measuring yung average performance ng kanyang mga anak, maraming anak, we get a reliable estimate of the parents' breeding value. Ibig sabihin, ginagamit natin na basis yung performance ng anak. Kailan siya ginagamit? Kapag yung trait ay na-express sa offspring, expressed only on the offspring. Sample itong mga traits na to, yung mga reproductive traits, longevity, maternal behavior, ganyan. Ginagamit din natin yung progeny selection when the trait is sex-limited. Example, yung mga milk yield, egg production, milk yield, milk production, milk quality, etc. Or mga lowly heritable traits. Ito yung mga traits na mababa lang yung genetic merit or mataas yung kanilang environmental effect. Yes, correct. Mataas yung environmental effect to produce significant variation doon sa performance or phenotype ng anak or ng hayop. This is also used for selection of males when trait is measured in females only. Ito yung palagi kong sinasabi na kapag gusto mong pumili ng breeder bulls or yung mga sire cattle natin, you use the performance of its offspring. Female offspring, rather. Now, what else? Next, application in females is limited. Bakit kaya? Application in females is limited kasi yung mga females, they produce fewer progeny. Konti lang yung kanilang naipapanganak. Bakit? Pwede mong tanungin, bakit marami bang anak yung mga males? Yes, kasi yung mga males natin can produce many offspring from different matings or different services. So, halimbawa, in a span of 30 days, example, yung bull natin, yung male breeder cattle natin, in a span of 30 days, halimbawa, nakapag 20 services siya or 20 matings, tapos successful lahat, nag-conceive, nabuntis lahat ng mga cow na brinidan, edi you have 20 na offspring, 20 days, within 20 days. E paano pa kung months mo na ginamit yun? Edi you have more data, more progeny records versus yung isang cattle na bridan or yung cow na nabridan na hihintayin mo pa ng months, 9 months bago manganak. So, 9 months in a span of 9 months, isa lang ang pinanganak ng female. Tapos, in a span of 9 months, madami ng expected progeny yung males because you use it for different matings. And sabi dito, this is the most accurate method of estimating breeding value. Bakit? It's because direct na parent offspring. Na makikita mo na there is really parent to offspring transmission of traits. Unfortunately, ang limitation nito is time consuming siya because you still have to wait for the progeny to mature and to have that record. Halimbawa, record of milk production, hihintayin mo pa. So it's expensive. It's time consuming, it's expensive. You have longer generation interval, and yun application in females is limited because because of its fewer offspring kada dam. Next, sieve selection naman. This is a method where an animal's genetic merit is predicted based on the performance of its siblings, whether that is full sieve or half sieve. This is applied to traits not measured on the individuals evaluated. In other words, how did this animal's brothers and sisters perform? Yun yung question naman dito, yung key question. So this method is used or is valuable kapag destructive to measure yung trait. Example, carcass quality. Kailangan mo pang i-slaughter bago magkaroon ng record. And this is also useful kapag yung trait ay hindi na-express sa mismong hayop na pinagpipilian natin. The accuracy increases with the number of sieves. That means mas maraming sibling records, the higher is the selection accuracy. Kasi syempre, mas marami kang records. Mas marami kang records na pagkukomputan or pag-estimatean ng iyong estimated breeding value. Ang limitation naman niya is lower accuracy of evaluation because of the effect of G by E. Pag sinabi natin G by E, yung mga siblings niya ay syempre na-raised in different environments. Iba-ibang management practices. So that means yung kanilang performance varies across those environments they were raised. So that means it's harder to tell whether yung differences ng mga siblings na yon ay due to genetics or environment. I repeat, if there is G by E, mas mahirap sabihin na yung differences sa performance ng mga siblings na yon or mga individuals na yon ay due to genetics or environment. That means you are reducing the reliability of using SIB performance in estimating the true genetic merit of the individual. So that ends my lecture video for selection based on the available records that we have in our farm. Thank you very much, everyone.